Key aspects of traditional store atmospheres serve as a guide to pop-up stores' atmospheric conception. This content is extracted from academic marketing sources, and it is based on physical store and virtual store atmospheric design content. It is worth noting that a pop-up store's atmospheric design is guided by the brand's identity, is defined by the brand's positioning, and is conceived to relate to the brand's target audience. A store's atmosphere can be studied at different levels of aggregation. At an elementary level, one can examine individual environmental elements such as music, noise, color, smell, and furnishing. At a more aggregated level, the factor level, we can study these elements as groups or factors. For example, environmental ambience, design, and social factors. In 1986, the author Baker coined these atmospheric dimensions and proposed a generalized list of atmospheric dimensions for the case of the retail store on one hand and the service industry on the other hand. These classifications bring together the atmospheric elements of a point of sale into three main categories of factors. The ambient factors, such as smell, music, and color. The design factors, such as the store's structure, accessibility of products and displays, and social factors such as employees, customers, and the customer-employee interaction or relationships in store. Although the atmosphere is commonly used to describe the rather intangible aspects of the store environment, the store design is normally applied to describe the most tangible elements present in the interior environment of the store. The ways in which the aisles, chairs, hallways, as well as entrances and exits are designed and organized in the service environment is what we're looking at. Now, in 1992, another author, Bittner, researched and looked at the effects that environmental stimuli can have on individuals and how they influence the emotional, cognitive, and physiological reactions of consumers and employees. The researcher proposed that the atmosphere of a service landscape, which she coins as a servicescape, is measured through ambient conditions which are represented this time by arrangement, spatial functionality, signs, symbols, and artifacts. These ambient conditions are similar to those explained by Baker, and adding to it the effect that it has on the customer's five senses. The spatial functionality includes layout, equipment, and furniture. The store layout indices has an ability to facilitate consumers and their shopping goals, or even we're talking about directing consumers throughout the journey. Signs, symbols, artifacts include signage and personal artifacts and styles of decoration, of course, related to the brand's identity. These signs may offer both explicit and implicit clues. Explicit clues include exterior and interior signage, while implicit clues include illustrations, furniture, flooring, and the like. These are signals that always communicate information to the buyer. And I have to stress again that they relate to the brand's identity. Pop-up store atmospheric conception borrows many characteristics from those of traditional store atmospheres, especially when a pop-up store adopts a boutique or a vacant environment. In addition to paying much attention to the aesthetics and designing these stores should lead to immersion or an extreme level of engagement between the environment and the customer. A pop-up store's atmosphere should always reflect the brand's identity. It should also allow customers to interact not only with the space, but with the brand and its community. The interaction and this social dimension, as we call it, are part of the environment and makes a physical environment come to life or become more lively. And this is at the art and the essence of pop-up stores. The social dimension is at the heart of pop-up stores. It is worth noting at this point that pop-up store atmospheres allow customers to connect with brand associates or brand reps, but also with other customers and other brand touchpoints through in-store set devices, and to connect with their community through social media. This aspect of digitalization of the pop-up store's atmosphere is an important factor that should not be disregarded during the design, conception, and process. So, what can be withdrawn from all of this info? Pop-up stores need to be conceived and designed from the inside out. Their atmospheric conception and design should be looking at everything related to the ambience, the aesthetics, and the social factors. Pop-up stores have to be coherent and congruent with every element of the brand's identity and with other touch points. They have to fit with the brand but still have to appeal to customers and to the environment in which they are popping in. Designing a pop-up store's atmosphere thinks of engagement. If the customer has no room for immersion and engagement, he or she or they will be less likely to see themselves in that pop-up store or continuing their journey at the pop-up store. It's important to keep in mind that customers perceive an atmosphere holistically. Since we are designing today our stores in an experiential marketing point of view, store atmospheres have to be thought of as like interactive theaters. And again, I insist that they have to be holistically perceived by the customer, and they have to be very engaging. This is Ghalia Bustani. I specialize in ephemeral retail research, and I will be sharing with you more videos on points of views related to pop-up store and ephemeral retailing. I am currently working on new topics and new research related to ephemeral retail, and will be sharing some of the info with you in the coming episodes. In the meantime, please like, subscribe, and share our content.